Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventure, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of a bounty of comics, collectibles, action figures, graphic novels, and all things in between. But first, time to talk about what stood out from last week. And it's going to be brief because last week was very weak. Nothing really stood out to me in a real big way at all. Batman the Max was good, and what I thought was the last issue of the Old Man Logan series it's the last issue of Old Man Logan, but it's now going into Dead Man Logan. It was good. It was really good, and I'm happy that there's a new layer to this. Camera's wanting to fall. A new layer to this story, and it's not just ending right now because I wasn't quite ready for it to end, and if it can continue and be a good story, I'm happy that it did. But beyond that, nothing was really spectacular at all. I'm still reading Heroes in Crisis just because I feel like it's going to have a big effect on the DC universe going forward, but very average, and just not really that great of a week for the pull list last week, but that's pretty much it. We'll see what this week's bounty brings. See you in a bit. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead at Athletic Geek HQ, and just got my normal stack of comics, my pull list this week, but got kind of an interesting list, and not gonna waste more time. Let's get right to it. Starting out in the world of Marvel. We're at Deadpool number 6. It's the beginning of a new story arc in Deadpool, and Scotty Young's done a great job so far on the Deadpool title. So yeah, decided to get this new Deadpool story started, and what's been a really, really good Deadpool book so far. From there, and this is going to be a little mini series they have. It is Marvel Knights number 1. It's celebrating 20 years since the Marvel Knights line came about, and for those that aren't aware of the Marvel Knights line, it was kind of a I don't want to say it's like an Elseworld. It's not like the Ultimate Universe or what later would become the Ultimate Universe, where they were doing stories that were completely different continuity. It was just more so stories that were a little more adult themed, a little bit more intense violence, some darker stories, and some very, very much stronger language. And Kevin Smith did a Daredevil story, and one of my personal favorites is Mark Millar's Marvel Knights Spider-Man story that was really, really good, and actually it was the first thing of Mark Millar's that I actually really, really liked. But that's besides the point, and they seem to be doing a Marvel Knights miniseries to commemorate the 20 years, and you can see right there all the different characters they kind of have on the cover, and there's Matt, but you can also see like Wolverine and Luke Cage and everything there on the cover. So I don't know what the story's going to be about, but I was intrigued enough to pick this up. This actually wasn't even something on my pull list. This was something I saw in the stands and inquired about at my local shop, and ended up picking it up. So hopefully this is good, and we'll see what happens with it. Going into the world of DC, and more specifically the Bat family right now, we have Batman number 58. They're starting a Penguin story here, it looks like, and the Penguin, I feel like he's a tough character to write, but if you can write him well, you have the ability to tell a really, really good story there. So, looking forward to this. Tom King really seems to be kind of hitting all the favorites when it comes to Batman rogues. He did Mr. Freeze. We got the Penguin here, so he's really, really taking on quite a few of the different people in Batman's rogues gallery, which I appreciate on his part. So, yep, start of a Penguin story, and see where it goes from there. Staying in the Bat family right now, we have Nightwing number 52. They're they're going in that new direction with Nightwing, and it says Enter the Nightwing. So I don't know what I don't know what's going on in this issue, but I'm intrigued. I really hope that they don't shift from the status quo too much, as I've said on the previous comic shop adventures. But Nightwing's in the midst of really truly trying to find himself, or Dick Grayson, I should say, is trying to find himself, and we'll see where the story goes from there. Making the jump now, we go to Justice League number 11 by Scott Snyder and Francis Manpole doing some art here, and I really enjoy Francis Manpole's art. This is the part 2 of the Drowned Earth story. Part 1 was kind of eh. I won't say it was bad. I mean, I bought the kind of the introductory title of its own last week as part of last week's bounty, and this, we're going into part 2 in the Justice League, and we'll just see where it goes. Maybe it'll build to something a lot better in the individual heroes books, but we will see. So yeah, you've heard me rant and rave about Scott Snyder's and how well he writes the Justice League. Maybe part 2 will impress me a little bit more than the single issue part 1 did. So Justice League number 11. And then finally, we go to The Green Lantern number 1 by Grant Morrison. Oh, I've been looking forward to this book. Even though I've been singing the praises of the Green Lantern's title, and I really wish it was still going on. It did disappoint me that book was coming to an end. Morrison, I've never read a Grant Morrison book I didn't like. And for him to take on one of my favorite characters, probably my number 2 favorite comic character behind Batman, I'm excited about. The Green Lantern stories, even though I've personally liked, all of them, to the general comics world's kind of been missing some oomph since Jeff Johns' run in the New 52 ended. But yeah, this is something I've been looking forward to. I've been talking about on the show here for several weeks, and I'm hoping that I haven't overhyped myself, and I'm hoping that I haven't set up such a standard that it's impossible to live up to. But I'm excited to see, excited to see what Morrison does with Hal Jordan. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the bounty this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it a share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comic books, but from the world of pro wrestling, anime, video games, and all things geek culture. And for more content, please go like the Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. Got some exclusive content on the Facebook page only. I got my DCCW Week in Reviews and my Collection Comic of the Week that you can only be found on the Facebook page. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.